Yesterday we took presentations out of preview mode, so if you've been using it before, our newest editor, now, for people who hadn't used it before, now when you create a new presentation, you're going to use the new editor automatically. So we're just going to start, I'm going to start by just showing off some of the features we like most, and specifically get into comments a little bit. And then really we want to use the bulk of the time to have you guys, give the opportunity to you guys to ask us questions. So let me share my screen here. So this is just a presentation, a sample presentation. Can everybody see it?
Yes.
All right, great. So it just has some content filled in, so we don't have to create everything on the fly. But oops, let's reload this just to make sure the Wi-Fi in this room is a little flaky. All right, so we have a really nice presentation here. There's some nice content. One of the, it's really easy to go in and change the theme. So you can click, and we have a few themes in here. You can choose and look through what you'd like to change to. So let's change it to say something, our simplest one. And one of the coolest things we want to show off is tables. We've done a lot of work on tables from the original version, the existing presentation editor. So I have a nice table here. Specifically, we worked on borders and resizing. So there's a border separating the middle section, these two sections in the table. So I'm going to go ahead and say I want to select the border, change the color to red. Really simple, really easy. And I want to say, let's say we want to add a new. This is a sample of teacher for first day of class. So I want to get Sarah to help me. I want Sarah to help me with this presentation. So I'm going to just pull her into the doc by adding a comment. She's already in there, but she should. You can add people to comments by just mentioning their email address in a comment using either plus or @ mention. So she should see this, and I can say, "Can you help me spruce up this table a bit?"
So then I'll get an email saying that I've been mentioned in this comment. Actually go into the document and say sure, and then in real time, just like our other collaboration features, I can go in here and actually work on this table with Ajay.
So let's say we wanted to, for example, we wanted to say Amy in section 1 from 9 to 11 in the morning. She's actually going to switch this first section to math. So let's make her teach math, and we want to really make the class go from 9 to 11. So Sarah's going to change English to math, or I can do that. And then if we can go ahead and just merge those cells.
Just right-click and then hit merge
and then
cell.
Go ahead and just merge those cells.
And then with that merge cell, you can go ahead and select the borders and highlight it. That looks bad, so we'll change it. And it just allows you to do really, really cool things with tables that we didn't have before.
So we're happy with this table now. Maybe it doesn't look quite as spruced up as we wanted, but our initial goal is accomplished. So I can go back to the comment and hit resolve. Sarah will now get an email saying the comment was resolved, and the notification will sort of happen in the email. Another really, really cool feature we worked a lot on is animations. So this slide is actually pre-animated, but we can go ahead and click, right-click, animate, and you can see that we already have a bunch of animations done already. So let's say we want the last star. Is, when it appears, we want it to spin. So I'm going to go ahead, add an animation, say spin, and after the previous animation. And if I play this particular slide, you can see the whole slide just animating, and that last transition that I just added was there. With comments, one of the other things that you can now do is, in addition to commenting on a slide, so I can right-click on a slide in the film strip. I can say, or I can right-click on an individual shape on the slide and say, you know, and add comments to a particular shape. So you can comment on shapes and slides. You can resolve comments. And you also notice on the film strip that you see a little comment indicator next to the slide, so you know just at a glance where in the presentation people have added comments. On the side, you also notice, just as in the other in our other editors, you can see who else is in the document. So we have Teresa on the first slide. If I hover over her name, she's there, and then Sarah's on the slide that I was just editing. One other last really cool feature that I wanted to show off is speaker notes. So if you click on Start Presentation, you can start it with speaker notes. And if I do that, what do you guys see now?
You need to share that.
Yeah, let me share the speaker notes window. All right. Screen share. So there we go. So when I started the presentation in speaker notes mode, I just had to swap which window I was showing so you guys could see that view. Otherwise, the whole presentation was the one that was showing. So you see this nice speaker notes view. You can click next. You can click previous, back and forth through the presentation. You can see how many slides there are. You can quickly switch to one slide in a single click. You can see how much time has elapsed since you started presenting. You can pause the timer, reset the timer, go back and forth the presentation. It's really, really nice. It allows you to do rehearsals and sort of practice what you're going to say and how long it takes. And it's just a good way to navigate through the presentation. I didn't actually add notes. I should have done that before. But if I go ahead and if I had added, please share that. If we go back and share, I'm going to end this. Let's share that again. Back to our presentation. And if I was to add on a slide, I can say, I can add speaker notes to the bottom of any slide, and when you go back to the speaker notes view, you'd be able to see that the notes for that specific slide. So that's really, really nice. So we don't want to spend too much time going over examples. I'll unshare myself and open it up to any questions you guys have, so we can hear your feedback.
Those are some of the features we're really excited about launching. We've actually heard them from users. We've heard users ask us for these things for a while, so we're really excited, especially about discussions. Is there anything that have you guys been playing with the new presentations editor? Is there anything that you can share with us? Anything that's working or not working well?
It's all working well for me. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
It's all working well for me. The ability to put comments on presentations was something I had to ask you because I knew this Hangout was going to happen. So I wanted to ask why we didn't have it. And yesterday you released it, and that was great.
Oh, that's really good to hear.
Yeah.
Does anyone else have feedback to share on the new launch?
Yeah, if you guys want to share any comments about the presentations editor, how you might see yourself using it, or any ideas for it, just let us know.
Well, I'd just like to say that it's a huge improvement over the last version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were hoping to make a step in the right direction, and I definitely think we did.
It definitely was. And the speaker note option, I haven't used that before, but I can see myself using that.
That's great.
Cool.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I ask for Google Apps of Education? Is it the same presentation and everything updated just as it is here?
As far as I know, you should be getting the same application.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it just depends on whether you're turned it on or is it on for everyone?
Yeah. If you're on Google Apps for Education, we have two. Apps for Education is on the sort of fast track for and seeing the same features as if you just go and log into presentations with a Gmail account.
Okay, that's great.
Is this something that you see yourself using or your students using?
Absolutely. I mean, my kids, we're in our school, we're using Google Apps, and my students are very familiar with it. And one thing that they always compared it to is some of the other, obvious types of presentations out there, and they wanted to be able to do the same thing. So these sort of features are exactly what they're looking for, and they do a lot of collaborative work. So they have the discussions and the comments because they work, not only together on the same project at the same time, but they'll work at different times. So to leave the comments and another student come back and look at it at night is something they were looking for.
Oh, great.
Really, that's great.
And in fact, a question I had from them was, could you just briefly talk about the ways in which, or the best ways in which to get images into a presentation, or the limitations that certain images don't go into presentations? Can you tell me?
Well, there's some size limitations. So I believe you can't upload something that's larger than, what is it?
We can follow up with the exact limits after all, but you should be able to go into any slide if you click. You can right-click on the slide and hit Insert, or just go to the Insert menu and hit Image. And we show a dialog. In fact, one of the things that we've mentioned that we've recently launched in the last few weeks also is stock images. So you can go in there and browse from an image saved on your local computer. You can do a Google image search and pick an image from there, or use stock photos. And stock photos is really nice because we've sort of handled the licensing for you, so you can use the images freely for both personal or commercial use.
One thing that is cool too is if you have an image on your desktop, you can drag it directly into the presentation. Drag it onto the answer and get it on that. That's probably the easiest way.
Yeah, that's really nice too.
Yeah.
Can they take an image from somewhere on the web, on a website, and just drag it in?
Yes, I believe you can actually just drag that from a different tab or a different window onto the presentations editor. If not, you can just grab the URL and do insert image and then insert from URL.
Okay.
And I'm assuming that's only in Chrome.
Possibly. We only use Chrome here, so. Don't know anything about any other browser.
No, that should work on Firefox too. One caveat about the editor is it doesn't work in IE8. But the image dragging should work in Firefox as well.
And the reason I ask is we use Chromebooks in our school. So one thing that we don't have is a desktop.
Nice.
So you can't put the image on the desktop, so they have to grab it just from a website and put it in. And at times they've had some issues. And I didn't know if there was a limitation in unable to grab certain images and drag it across. So I guess as you keep things in mind for development of presentations, is it also kept in mind whatever the Chromebooks can and cannot do?
Oh, definitely. I mean, Chromebooks are really sort of, you know, we use them a lot. Lots of users inside Google use them, and you know, the web apps are really what, you know, drives Chromebook usage. It's really, you know, the Chromebook experience is really about the web. So Docs in particular is a big part of it, and you know, we really want to keep you know, that sort of scenario in mind as we develop new things for presentations and documents and so on.
Thanks.
I do have another question. Just in my other window here, I was pulling up an older presentation that I had, and I noticed the older presentation that I made in the old editor still loads up in the old editor. Is there a way to pull that over into the new editor?
Yeah.
Not that I would need to use those again, but...
So we actually haven't yet gotten around to migrating the old presentations to the new editor yet.
Okay.
That's something we're working on. But you can take an old presentation. You can go to the new editor if you just click Create New Presentation. You go to File, Import Slides. You can copy the old slides into the new editor, and then you get all the new features of the new editor with your old slides.
Okay, that's an easy workaround. Thank you.
The one thing that won't do is it won't, if you had shared your presentation with others before, it won't copy those collaborators over, so you'll have to reshare it. But for the most part, it should get you to a point where you can use the new editor with your old slides.
Okay.
A question from my side is offline access. All my sales users have been they're thoroughly impressed with the new presentations, but they're curious about, you know, if they go to a customer site and there's no internet access, how they're going to be able to present.
Yeah. Offline is the way we think about the web. It's you know, we know that you know, you're not always going to be connected to you know, going to have rich connectivity everywhere, and it's not just about you know, web apps working in that environment. We really think you should be able to work from anywhere. If you lose connectivity to the internet, or you're just on a plane somewhere, or anywhere where there's no internet, you should be able to continue to work. So that's the way we're thinking about the web in general. Just Google as how we're developing web apps in the future. So offline is a really, really big part of, you know, what we're thinking about in Docs, and you know, we have plans to sort of work on offline for presentations as well.
Sure.
Now, a question I had was when you upload a document, it counts towards your limit, but when you create a document using Google Docs, it doesn't count towards the 1 gigabyte limit. Is that correct?
That's right.
Okay. So if you upload all my old PowerPoint presentations, I need to watch out for the limit.
Right.
Okay.
But you should be able to also, so the 1 gig limit is sort of free storage that we offer across when you upload documents, but you can also buy more storage if that's something you want.
Yeah, I believe I forgot what the rate was, $5 for 20 gigabytes or something like that. So.
I think that's right. I don't remember the other tiers, but that sounds right.
Okay.
Now, if you select to convert that document during upload, does that still count toward that 1 gigabyte limit?
Oh yeah, that's a good question. Mm-hmm.
If you can, so do you mean if you upload a doc and you have the original PowerPoint uploaded as well?
No, if you were going to upload a PowerPoint and you click to convert to a Google spreadsheet or a Google presentation.
Right. Google convert during the upload.
Yes, correct.
As part of the upload process.
I don't think that should count towards the storage limit, but you can double check that and get, you know, respond in the comments afterwards.
Yeah, I think if you convert, then it becomes Google Documents so bigger than it is.
Can't hear you, Teresa.
I said I think if you convert, it becomes a Google document that's not taking up any storage.
It's not. Oh, okay. Now, I did notice problems with converting PDFs. When I upload a PDF and I say convert to Google Docs, a couple of times I had problems with doing that. I mean, the document just hung up. It didn't upload the document.
Okay, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I can follow up with you individually after about like support issues. You might be
Okay.
happy.
All right. Thanks.
Another question with the documents when you're if you download as a PowerPoint, do all the animations and all the fancy effects come with it if you're doing that, or does it strip them all out?
Any animations or transitions you create inside Google presentations, that should, if you convert it to export it to PowerPoint, that should all be preserved.
Sure.
Hmm.
Well, one thing I noticed that PowerPoint videos do not translate well, but converting them to YouTube and embedding them is just fantastic. The problem I had last year in coordinating with my committee is comments and tables, and somehow we would comment it on the features, and somehow this version has fixed both my problems of putting data in tables and fixing the comments, which were not even possible last year. And I want to thank you very much for that.
That's really great to hear. Thanks for the feedback.
Now, the only other thing you can do that would be wonderful is to animate GIFs, but I know that's impossible because I was in a Hangout the other day and they said Google thinks GIFs are evils, but
yeah, a lot of things can happen.
If you were in on that, you saw me, but there are some programs, some drawing programs that animate GIFs so that when you go from layers, when you talk about animation, you're talking really transitions between slides and maybe spinning some of your symbols around. But it would really, what you've done so far this year, when I convert to the new version, my life is going to be so much simpler coordinating with a dozen people. The only problem, the only suggestion or question I have is this collaboration now best done with either Google Plus or do a Hangout with features where you can share a document at the same time? I know it's only been around a short time. Have people had any issues doing that? Sharing a document with Hangouts, Super Hangouts?
Oh, I tried that one time. I'm trying to remember what happened. It kind of, I don't know if it was the browser or the PC. It just kind of hung up on me. I was trying to do a screen share, pretty much. I had the document up on my screen, and I switched and I said screen share, and it just locked up.
Okay, it might have been a temporary issue or something. That we're actually using. That's how we did the collaboration on the initial few minutes where we were demoing stuff. That's how we did that. I shared my own screen, and even if you don't use a Hangout though, you can see other collaborators in the document. So you could see Teresa and Sarah in the document.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah,
so
I've done that.
You can use Hangouts as a good way, but we also show you who else is in the document as well.
And there's chat in the document while you're actually.
Yeah, that's right. So you can actually see who else is has the document open, and then you can chat with them on the right side.
And you can even see what slide they're on or whatever.
That's right. Yeah, there's a little red pointer that kind of moves with the other person, I guess.
Well, my daughter is in educational technology in the state of Missouri, and they had a big Hangout conference, whatever, last week. It was very helpful. She shared the Google presentation on the screen shared the document, not a screenshot like you would do on Skype or any of those, but actually shared the document, and it was marvelous.
Oh, really? So let's see. So right now I'm on the Hangout. So if I go to my Google Docs and open a document and share it, it'll show up on the screen?
Well, it's kind of a beta feature of the Hangout where you go, it's Hangouts with, I don't know, benefits or something. But,
With extras.
Okay, it's a Cadillac Hangout.
Yeah. I mean, it's incredible, but it's one of these beta things that's either going to come or go. But right now, it's either going to be incorporated into Hangouts or not.
Nice.
And I think that feature is
That'd
fantastic.
Be great, yeah.
Don't throw that one away.
Yeah.
Good feedback. Thank you.
Yeah,
Can you just explain to me, I'm trying to understand what you're talking about. How is that different from putting a document on your screen and sharing your screen? Can you show me what you're speaking about?
I can't really do that because I'd have to go back and create a Hangout with benefits or whatever they call that.
Hangouts
And you can share anything in Google Docs, presentations, spreadsheets, Word document programs, scribble in whatever you're diagramming, your version of Visio. And it's fantastic.
If you just go to, once you've joined the Hangout, if you just go to share screen, it's not just docs. You can basically share any window on your desktop.
Right.
So if you have a browser window open, you could share a doc or a web page or whatever.
But you can't.
But does anybody?
If you do that, you cannot do real time, right? I mean, if you just do screen share, well, I guess you can if you're just moving your.
Right.
Okay, so it is real time. It's not a snapshot.
And we do like that name, Hangouts with Benefits.
I'll tell the team.
I think I'll have to be politically correct next time and find out what that is.
Didn't mean to cut you off there, Ajay. Go ahead and finish your thought.
So I was just going to ask if anybody had any other feedback or experience they wanted to share with presentations specifically.
I guess I have a question with presentations. Again, from my students, can you link to a document from within presentations directly?
Yes, you can link to one. You can't actually embed another document.
Because I go to the link and I find it says put in the URL. So one would just copy the URL. It doesn't necessarily open a dialog box for your documents, such as I guess other Google pieces do. Is that right?
Right. You just for right now you just basically put in a link to the document, similar to if you were sharing the document with someone or emailing them a link to the document. That's how you'd put it in.
Well, what's amazing is you can take either a document or a presentation and put it in a either public website or share it with certain people that have to sign in first. I run a website for a yacht club, and all our training materials, the presentations, are included right in the website. And the website can include forms for signing up for classes or racing or whatever. I mean, the embed is a wonderful feature of presentations that you can put in a public or private website. Works fantastic.
Is there an integration with the? I'm sorry.
Chuck, we'd love to see that website if you want to link to it in the chat.
It's okay. I can do that, or I can just tell you it's www.chnyc.org.
Can you type that in the chat?
Yeah, if you just go to the Hangout, there's a chat button on the top left. You can type it in there, and then we'll have it so we can look at it later.
I guess I can do it. I have it up. Let's see. What was it again?
Sorry to cut you off.
Oh yeah, I was wondering if there's some kind of integration with SlideShare. You publish your presentation to a website or.
Absolutely, you can when you're in the website, when you're in Google Sites, all you do is say insert, and when you say an object, a presentation or any of your Google Docs come right up into it.
Okay.
Yeah, You were talking about the website SlideShare.
Yeah, the SlideShare website itself. So if you publish it to, I guess I'm really talking about if you make a presentation public on your Google Docs. Can you somehow link it to SlideShare so it also shows up in SlideShare, or do you have to do it separately?
We don't offer any sort of native integration with other websites like that. You can take.
Okay.
I mean, if you make the presentation public, you can take the URL that you can embed, and then you can put that anywhere you want.
Okay.
I think Chuck just described how you would put that into Google Sites. Like we have, if you have a Google site, you can hit Insert, and then you'd be able to put in a presentation there, and it would embed it nicely. But you can take that URL and basically put it on anywhere you want, really.
Now, a while back with Google Presentations, there used to be a feature where if you would start the slide presentation, go through it, you could send the link to other people and they'd all watch it sort of at the same time. There was like a little chat down the side. I'm not seeing that in the new version. Is that something that's going away, or is it coming, or?
I think you're talking about View Together and Presently.
I think that was it, yeah.
We're sort of like we've focused on a lot of other features for this first release, and that's definitely something we'll think about. And we want to think about how people really interact with presentations when they're viewing them in that setting a little bit more, and possibly refine that experience. So we are going to revisit that. We'll think about that a little more and see how best to integrate it with the new product.
Does anyone have any last questions or feedback to share?
Well, I have a last feature request. It's because I used to work on really small screens, so the more space I have to display slides, the better. So I would like to be able to hide the slides thumbnail on the left, and I can't do it right now. Is that correct?
Yeah, right now we don't support that, but that's really good feedback, and we've had other people mention that as well. So that's definitely something we'll keep in mind and take back to the team.
Nice.
I'm sorry, I was typing and I missed that. What was the feature again?
Yeah, go ahead.
The ability to hide the slide thumbnails on the left so that it can have more space.
I see.
Cool.
All right, and I guess one more question I had was I also use the app on my Samsung Galaxy Tab. It's a Honeycomb tablet. And so are there any, I mean, so far I've not had any problems. I do have a couple of accounts, so sometimes I think when I'm trying to access a document, it'll ask me which account I'm trying to log in from. But other than that, I mean, I was wondering if anybody else has tried to use it on their tablet using an app, the Google Docs app, and has had any issues. Either uploading, downloading, creating. I've not tried to create one yet. I've just used the app to access the document once I've created it.
No, actually, I haven't tried that.
Okay.
I don't own a tablet. I don't use a tablet yet. I still have a laptop, but I've used it on my Sprint Photon 4G phone, and presentations in Google Documents come up flawlessly.
Oh, okay. It looks pretty good.
The only trick is that you can't see comments unless you go to the web view with the browser that I have on, which is fine. But for the most part, the documents come up speedily, and it works fine on my cell phone, which is kind of a poor man's tablet, I guess.
And if you haven't tried, just as we, I guess, wrap up here, if you haven't tried, since we're talking about mobile, if you haven't tried the native Google Documents editor, that was also released yesterday, and now you can, sort of you know, edit documents on your tablet or on your phone natively, you know, select text easily, bold, zoom, all that sort of neat stuff. And if you check out the blog, there's a blog post that describes all that.
And a really fun video.
I noticed that Thomas asked about templates, asking for more templates. What kinds of templates are you looking for? And this can be for you or for anybody. What kinds of templates or themes would you like to see more of?
Oh, yeah.
Well, for me, that's fine. Just like colors, just basic things. Just when I look at the template gallery for the backgrounds, it's, you know, kind of sparse.
Mm-hmm. The themes or the template gallery?
The themes, I guess. I remember I'm using the wrong terminologies.
That's fine.
So when you do file new presentation and you get to select which theme.
Yeah, the themes. Sorry, the themes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you just want some more.
Some more themes.
More variety.
More themes, because you know, especially if more people use this, then you kind of see the same theme being used by a lot of people, and so it's nice that variety. Or even if that's something that people can design for and submit, like templates.
Yeah.
Right. No, that's great feedback.
Yeah. Anybody else? Any like specific types of templates that you guys are interested in?
More professional kind of
I also
templates
use
or themes.
Professional.
Professional, less I don't know, jazzy or.
We're all about jazzy.
Jazzy, that's right. Yep. If you look at Star Office,
you guys
there's
move
actually
too fast
a lot more
for
choices
sometimes.
there.
I'm sorry.
The Star Office, if you look at the Star Office, there's lots of jazzy templates. I've used that for a couple of presentations, and I compared Star Office to Google Docs. There's a limited amount of choices in Google Docs, more choices in Star Office.
Okay.
I was actually, right now, I tried to create a document on my tablet, and I don't know if you guys can see it. I guess it's too much glare, maybe. It's upside down? No. Anyway, so I'm not seeing an option for presentation. It just says document, spreadsheet, document from photo, and document from gallery. So there's no option for presentation.
Yeah, right now you're not able to create presentations from a mobile device. You can view them and present from a device, but you can't create them.
Okay.
And you'll have to go to the desktop.
All right.
All right. Looks like we're about 40 minutes, so thank you guys so much for joining. Let us know if you have any additional feedback. You can just comment on the Google Plus show.
Yeah, thanks everyone for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.